The alien queen smiled at me the moment I entered the chamber. Not a welcoming smile. Not a polite one. It was the kind of smile that made the back of my neck prickle, as if I'd just walked into the final page of a story I didn't remember starting. I was not important. That much I knew. I wasn't a general, a diplomat, or even a scientist. I was a human logistics officer, temporary assignment, low clearance, standing quietly behind the delegation while people far above my pay grade negotiated the fate of star systems. And yet, Queen Averial of the Ketheri Dominion was smiling at me. Her throne room was vast and alive, its walls grown rather than built, pulsing softly with bioluminescent veins. Ketheri nobles stood in rigid silence, their elongated forms draped in ceremonial armor. Guards lined the hall, weapons angled down but ready. I shifted my weight, suddenly self-conscious. "Do not look away," the queen said gently. Her voice carried through the chamber without amplification, calm, melodic, and impossibly confident. "I wasn't," I replied, unsure why I felt compelled to answer. The diplomats beside me stiffened. The queen's smile widened just a fraction. "You may relax," she said. "This moment has been anticipated." Anticipated. That word landed heavily. I glanced at Ambassador Renwick, but he refused to meet my eyes. "Your Majesty," he said quickly, "my aid is not part of—" "On the contrary," Queen Averial interrupted. "He is the reason you are here." The room went silent. I felt every gaze turned toward me. My heart began to pound. "I think," I said carefully, "there's been a mistake." The queen rose from her throne. "No," she said softly. "There has been fulfillment." Middle. They escorted me away from the delegation without resistance. That alone terrified me more than if they'd used force. I was led through corridors that shifted subtly as we walked, the architecture responding to the queen's presence. When we reached a private chamber overlooking the Ketheri capital, an endless city of organic spires and flowing light, she dismissed her guards with a gesture. Alone. Just her and me. "You are afraid," she observed. "Yes," I said honestly. "Very." She nodded. "Good. Fear sharpens awareness." I swallowed. "Your Majesty, with all due respect, why am I here?" She studied me, her eyes luminous pools of violet and gold. "Because you are human," she said. "That doesn't narrow it down much." A soft laugh escaped her. "Your species believes importance is assigned by rank. Ours believes it is revealed by resonance." She stepped closer. "You felt it when I smiled at you, didn't you?" she asked. "That sense of recognition?" I hesitated. "I felt like you knew me." Her smile returned. "We have been searching for you, for generations." My mouth went dry. "I've never left human space before this posting." "You misunderstand," she said gently. "We were not searching for you specifically. We were searching for someone like you." She gestured, and the air shimmered, forming a holographic projection. Ancient star charts, timelines stretching back thousands of years. "Long before humanity reached the stars," she said, "our seers observed a convergence point. A future moment where the Ketheri Dominion would face extinction, not by war, but by stagnation." She looked at me intently. "And the solution was human." "That's impossible," I said. "Humans weren't even spacefaring then." "Exactly," she replied. "That is why the solution endured." She explained that the Ketheri were a species bound tightly by foresight. Their queens could perceive probabilities across centuries. It had made them powerful, but rigid. Every decision optimized. Every outcome predicted. Until the predictions began to fail. "Our future collapsed into sameness," she said. "No innovation. No divergence. The galaxy outpaced us." I frowned. So, you need chaos? She smiled knowingly. We need humanity. Middle, the truth of being chosen. You are not chosen because you are exceptional, Queen Averial said, walking beside me as the chamber shifted to display scenes of human history. You are chosen because you are ordinary. That stung more than I expected. You represent the median of your species, she continued. Adaptable, emotional, unremarkable, and therefore unpredictable. I crossed my arms. You're telling me I'm here because I'm average? Yes, she said without hesitation. And that makes you dangerous. The projections changed. Human explorers improvising repairs, medics making instinctive decisions, civilians adapting to disasters with creativity no algorithm could predict. Humans do not wait for permission from fate, she said. You act, fail, adapt, and try again. Our simulations cannot account for that. I shook my head. So, what exactly do you want from me? She stopped and faced me fully. We want you to stay. The words echoed. Stay, I repeated. Here. As an observer, she said. An influence. A disruption. You want me to live among your people? She inclined her head. You will advise nothing. Command nothing. Simply exist. I laughed once, incredulous. That's insane. And yet, she said softly, you already are. She gestured, and I suddenly felt it, a subtle pull, like gravity shifting slightly toward her world. A sensation I'd been ignoring since I arrived. You feel at home, she said. I didn't answer, because she was right. Middle resistance. Not everyone welcomed the idea. The Ketheri High Council convened within hours. Ancient beings who had ruled sectors of space for millennia regarded me with thinly veiled disdain. This human is an anomaly, one counselor said. An uncontrolled variable. Exactly, the Queen replied. We are not a laboratory, another snapped. Our people require certainty. And that certainty is killing us, she said coldly. They argued fiercely that a human presence would destabilize culture, that it could undermine royal authority. That prophecy was not permission. Through it all, I sat quietly, hands clasped, painfully aware that I had become a symbol without consent. Finally, one counselor turned to me. Human, he said. If you are truly what the Queen believes, prove it. I swallowed. How? A choice, he said. One with no optimal outcome. They presented the scenario. 2 Ketheri colonies, both facing collapse due to a stellar anomaly. Resources existed to save only one. The Queen's foresight showed identical outcomes. No preferable option. Choose, the counselor said. I stared at the projections. Calculations. Probabilities. Lives quantified. Then, I did the most human thing possible. I asked questions. About culture. About history. About people. Then I made a decision not based on numbers, but on adaptability. Save this one, I said, pointing. The other will survive if we evacuate and integrate them elsewhere. The council erupted. That is inefficient. It creates instability. Yes, I said, but it creates change. Silence fell. Days later, the outcome proved me right. The integrated colony thrived in unexpected ways, introducing innovations neither species had anticipated. For the first time in centuries, the Queen's foresight expanded, ending